Hi, Barrick. Hi, Solar. How are y'all doing? Oh, why am I gone? There we go. I'm here. How are y'all doing? Doing comfy? Hi, PSI. How are you? Okay, so, we're in a weird spot because we do have a quest objective, but, I'm also not entirely sure which direction I want to go in first. I'm doing all right.
Done.
This man appears less dour and wary of passerby than the people around him. He moves with an upbeat gait, casually scanning the ground up to either side of him as he goes. As you approach him, he nods a friendly greeting. Greetings. Hello, Kata. Say, seen any deaders about? None nearby, no. I had some questions. Too bad, too bad. He shrugs. Had some questions, did you? Ask away then. Nameless One. You need some Erd Kaiser in your life. God, is the Nameless One gonna become the new Chosen One bit? Chosen One. Are you sure that you haven't erased your name, just like famed man Kazuma Kiryu? What are you looking for? That is, of course. Then you recognize the robes of a collector? Grabs a hold of the cloth and holds it up for your inspection. No. Collectors. Indicates his ragged brown robes. These here are collector's robes, Cutter. Any poor sod you see wearing these? Me, for instance. Most likely looking for debtors. Bodies to sell to the mortuary. He shrugs. Whatever it takes to get by in the Hive, right? You employee who forgot his name tag at home. I need assistance over here. Do the collectors work together? He laughs heartily. Hells no. They all dress the same, but there's only so many debtors to go around. We band up, usually in competing bands, packs, gangs, whatever you like to call them. Are none too friendly with one another. Are there rival packs of collectors near here? He nods. Sir, sure as Sigil is round. Those collectors in the Hive call Kip and Ragpicker Square. A dump just north of here. A large gate. Mostly run by Sharegrave's Lados. Now, since we fought most of... Oh. That comma shouldn't be there. I guess this is technically correct sentence structure, but, like, it doesn't flow very well. Since we fought most of Farad's boys off. Tell me about Sharegrave? Sharegrave? He's my boss. Never speak with him, though. Never even seen him too close like. Keeps to himself, mostly. Runs things through a few underlings. You can find him in his case at Ragpicker Square, but I'd stay away unless you got a good reason to talk to him. He's a bit period strange as he is. Tell me about Farad. Don't know much about the man myself. He spent a lot of time fighting his boys, but they all suddenly disappeared, along with Farad. We still catch the occasional straggler in Ragpicker Square, but we don't have any idea where the rest are hiding at. Does he have many men left? He must, because we hear his lot's been real successful of late. Finding lots of debtors, making lots of jink off the dusties at the mortuary. Don't know how either, as we've been having trouble finding corpses of late. Shrugs. mystical, magical teleports corpse to the mortuary for money. Why does the mortuary pay for corpses? Keeps the streets of the Hive a bit cleaner, I guess. Keeps plague from spreading and the like. Though Dusties like to keep the dead in their place too, seeing to it they all get properly buried, melted down or whatnot. Part of the beliefs and such. Searching for a journal that I lost? No, haven't run across one. Tell you what though, if I do, I'll hold on to it for you. Thanks, I'd appreciate that. Farewell. And farewell to you too, Cutter. He waves and walks off.
Hey, you! Hey, Cutter, come on inside and get warm! We'll give you a nice bed!
That one particularly loud NPC. You see a man who's looking around at the buildings with some confusion. He looks lost and is mumbling to himself. Greetings. Yeah. The man looks relieved. At last. I beg your indulgence, good sir. I seem to have gotten turned around in this maze of streets. He chuckles uncomfortably. I'm afraid this area of the city is somewhat... Glances around apprehensively. Unknown to me. The residents seem most unwilling to extend aid to a visitor. He looks at you hopefully. Could I prevail upon you to help me, perchance? You can't just say perchance, my guy. Depends on the kind of help you need. I seek the house of my Aunt Marguerite. She's reported to dwell in the house close to the mortuary, but the street layout seems to have changed since my last visit. Do you know of the house of which I speak? I'm afraid that I've never heard of such a place. Man frowns in disappointment. I suppose it would have been too much good fortune to hope that you would know of such a place. He nods slightly and thanks. Well, thank you for your time, good sir. It is most welcome on these streets. Farewell. As you're about to turn away, when you suddenly have a feeling that something is amiss. Suspicious, you glance at the man again, just in time to see him withdrawing his hand from your purse. Can't be sure, but you think he might have taken something from you. Bait the man into pickpocketing you again and observe his technique. I'm tempted with that, honestly. Like, it's only $5. Yes. I do really like how this game, like, you can talk your way out of a lot of situations in this game. You engage the man in light conversation and secretly studying his movements. This man seems to rely on two things. One, pretending to be a high-class citizen out of his element to lower the target's guard. And two, distracting the mark by having the victim point out directions. When the victim turns to point at the street or landmark, the man skims the mark's purse and tucks items into his conveniently long sleeves. You make a mental note of his technique, just as he makes another grab for your purse. Grab his hand. You're not fast enough. Yanks his hand back before you can grab it. With a yelp, he bolts. Oh wait, that wasn't a dialogue, oops. Running down the street? Alright then. Okay. I don't care enough to kill you on the street. You, on the other hand, like... You could fuck off. You have every opportunity to fuck off, actually. Oh, and he's gone. Man is draped in filthy, tattered brown robes, a long hood concealing most of his face from view. Greetings. He sees eyes narrow beneath his hood, and he takes a step back. What do you want? What are you doing? I'm looking for some damn bodies is what I'm trying to do. You think the dead powers had packed up their kip and left the plains the way people are staying healthy and all? A sudden gleam in his eye. We had a pox last month and it was a glorious time. It was. Bodies stinging to the high heavens and plenty of jink to be had too. Okay. Enjoy your, search for bodies. What does this Black Abishai have to say? Oh.
All right.
You really want to fight me that bad?
Hey,
Okay then, your funeral.
casual. Casual.
Done.
Hi, Sybil. Man, there is a lot of razor vine around here. This black-scaled reptile towers to a height of 8 feet. Its great height, however, is offset by its thin snake-like frame. A long prehensile tail drags behind it, and its leathery wings are hooked behind its back. Strong vinegary smell emanates from the creature, as well as a certain amount of heat. It seems to be ignoring you. Greetings. Whoa, Chief. Mordai cuts in before you can speak with the creature. That. You don't want to be rattling your bone box with any fiend on the street. Leave it be. I wanted to ask it some questions. No, you don't. Mordai glances at the creature, then back to you, and lowers his voice to a whisper. There, touchy. Let's just go. I'll risk it. Greetings. The creature slowly turns its head down to look at you. Its scaled forehead wrinkles into a frown, then it opens its mouth, giving a low rasping hiss. You notice the heat radiating from the creature begins to rise. I'd like to speak with you for a moment. The creature opens its mouth, displaying a row of blackened fangs. Fire begins to dance around the shoulders and arms of the creature as it gives a long, low hiss. Calm yourself, I just want to talk to you. The creature speaks in a rasping hiss. Its voice sounds like two rough stones being scraped together. It hisses for a few moments, its gravelly voice rising and falling. What? The creature snarls. Nothing to say to you, do I? The fiend's eyes narrow to slits. If stay, your warm blood will cover the stones. Okay.
I'm gone.
Get a room and a girl, Cutter. Come on in here, Cutter. Give it a rest. You don't want to sleep on the streets or get killed out here. Come on in.
Okay. You see a short, balding man standing in what serves as a foyer to his ramshackle flophouse. His bushy brows are furrowed in concentration as he picks at what appear to be scabs on his large, bulbous nose. Greetings? Man doesn't bother to look up. Instead, he continues to stare cross-eyed down at his own nose. Yeah, what do you want? Had some questions? Well, ain't that nice? Flashes you a sarcastic yellow-toothed smile. And I'm sure you'll find your answers someday. But I got me business to run, so if you don't want to bet, then I suggest you pike off. Never mind then, farewell. Nestor? See an aging man in soiled and tattered clothes, frantically pacing in the corner. His shock of filthy white hair sticks out in every direction, and his face, encrusted with dirt and streaks of dried blood, is covered with gray stubble. Every few seconds, he stops pacing and flails about suddenly, muttering and cursing as if assaulted by some unseen foe. He does not seem to notice you approach. Greetings? The sound of your voice, the old loon whirls about to face you, his wide, staring eyes bulging in their sockets. He regards you for a brief moment, then returns to his raving. No, no, no! It's not you! Ooh, but soon. Yes, soon. Who are you talking to? The old man seems oblivious to your presence. You'll come, yes, you'll come. And old Nestor will be waiting. Waiting? Who are you waiting for? Waiting, yes. He suddenly plops down on the floor as if overcome by exhaustion. Long have I waited, waiting. He takes a deep breath and springs back to his feet. Wait forever if I have to. Do you hear me? Are you all right? No! Nestor's face turns beet red and his whole body shakes in protest. My fork! I can't leave without my fork! Fork, fork, fork! Your fork? Fork, fork, fork! Can't go home without my fork! Nestor's frenzy reaches a violent crescendo. He begins hopping up and down maniacally. Wow, that dyslexia brain. I just read that. I read that as manically, and I was like, huh? Then suddenly stops, lowers his head, and runs headlong into a large wooden cupboard that stands against the back wall of the flophouse. Force of the impact knocks the old man flat on his back. After a few seconds, he stands back up, a dazed expression on his face. Gone, stolen, can't go home without my fork. Stolen, you say? Who took your fork? Nestor stares at you for a long moment, then begins rummaging through the pockets of his filthy tunic. After a few seconds, he produces what appears to be a dismembered ear. Judging by the stench and color of the ear, you'd wager that the old loon has been toting it around in his pocket for some time. You have my fork, don't you? Don't you? He holds the ear close as if speaking to it. Bring back my fork! Maybe I can help. Wait, waiting! Hi, Melissa. Shakes the ear violently as he shouts into it. Until you bring it back, then I can go home. Right, I'll try to find your fork then.
My journal. I'm gone.
Enjoy your lurk. You see the tall figure of a creature standing before you. The lower portion of its body resembles that of a goat. However, just above its powerful forelegs, its shape takes on a more human appearance, with a man's torso, arms, and heads, all of which are covered in polished armor. The creature's eyes are closed, and it appears to be sleeping. I'll let him sleep, though I do want to talk to him. You know what? I'm gonna... Oh, it won't let me... Damn. I should have woken him up.
I'm gone.
Every inch of this man's skin is covered in a web of black lines, as if some artist chose to accentuate every crease in his flesh with a quill pen. The overall effect is such that even when his face shows no expression, he appears to be frowning. Greetings. This one has a name. This one is called Porphyron? The man's voice is like a gong as he speaks. Lines on his face bend and settle into a series of spherical patterns. This one would know. Why do you address this one? Wanted to ask you some questions about the city? This one would have you know. This one cannot answer your questions. Lines on his face twist into angles, then split into a mess of scribbles. This one has only recently stepped foot in this place of walls. Alright then, but I have a question, or I have to ask you this. Why do those lines on your face move? The lines show anger. Do you take offense? Lines slowly straighten, forming into gentle curves. No offense was meant. Will you accept the many apologies of this one? No offense taken. Why are you angry? This one tells of a recent event. Did you know this one was beset by three? The three demanded an item of this one. This one feared an attack. What does this one do? This one surrendered the item. Well, you were right to be afraid. If there were three, then they might have killed you had you not given up the item. This one has been misunderstood. Lines on his face become angled, then smooth into curves again. This one did not fear being killed. This one feared killing the three. Well, if you could have killed them, why did you let them rob you? And this one walks the path of a warrior. Many weapons have walked with this one. The fist, the blade, the stave, the hatchet, the smiter? Smitter? These tools are all known to this one. That's not much of an explanation. Again, if you're a warrior with that much training, why let them rob you? This one is forbidden to attack. Lines ripple across his face as he speaks. If this one had struck the three in anger, the vow of non-violence would be unmade. Vow of non-violence? You're a warrior and a pacifist? And this one is unfamiliar with your speech. What is this pacifist? Never mind. Why did you train so much if you're not permitted to attack another? And this one is of the order of Eret Egg? We await the final days, where all will be called into battle. Training and skills of this one are to be kept silent until then. In the meantime, will you let yourself be robbed in the street without defending yourself? And this one will clarify. The item is of value. The discipline of the Eret Egg is of greater value. Since you won't fight, any chance you could talk those thieves into returning your item? And this one addresses the three thieves. What happens? Requests of this one are met with scorn. The three will not return the item. I can see if I could get the item back for you. And this one must ask, would you bring violence to the three that have robbed this one? Not if I can help it. And this one fears. A message absent of violence will not be understood. Lines on the man's face form into a series of ellipses. And this one is not opposed to you trying. Very well, what item have you lost? The item is this. A rope of black and red prayer beads worn around the neck. The worth of these beads is not measured in copper. The worth of these beads is measured in faith. Alright then, I'll see if I can find this necklace. Do you know where these three thugs might be? And this one knows where the angry words were traded and the item lost. By the bar that burns inside. The three were outside the place, dressed in black and red. Three robbers dressed in black and red outside of a bar that burns on the inside. That can't be too hard to find. Farewell.
Updated my journal.
Oh, I forgot that we were...
Damn it.
Morte, chew on this man's kneecaps. Fine, I don't care enough to chase you. Morte, update this man's kneecaps. Oh, hey, look, there's the Hive thug that ran away earlier. See a shape, not shapely. You see a shady-looking fellow standing before you, picking his teeth with what appears to be a tiny metal fork. His chest is covered by patchwork armor adorned with large spikes, and a long knife hangs at his side. You notice he's missing his right ear. Greetings.
Updated my journal.
He regards you coolly from the shadows, as if sizing you up. Had some questions for you. One-eared tiefling scowls at you threateningly. Pike off, Burke, or I'll have your guts for garters. If it's garters you're after, I happen to have a pair. Your mother left them in my bed last night. That's a great line. You wouldn't have happened to lost that ear while robbing an old man here in the Hive. I don't even know what you're talking about, Burke. He glares at you angrily. Now I suggest you get your mangled carcass out of my sight before I carve my name into you. Certainly, just give me the fork you stole from him and I'll be on my way. Flash of movement too quick to follow. He whips his knife from his sheath and begins waving it menacingly before you. Why don't you come and take it from me, Burke? Why don't you put that blade away before you get hurt? Yeah, sure. Or you sure do have a sharp tongue, Burke. I think I'll cut it out and feed it to you. Okay. Squad.
What's up?
Shatter this man's ego.
I'm scared. Did you see that?
Done.
High quality stiletto.
Yeah. Hey, okay.
Bro really was like, I'm not giving you back your fork. I will
All right.
literally kill for this fork that I stole from this random
Sure,
dude.
why not?
I do really love that I can use the fork as a weapon. That's a nice touch.
All right.
Nestor. The old man stops his frantic pacing and glances at you nervously. Fork, fork, fork. Can't go home without my fork. That's the fork you speak of? Nestor hastily snatches up the fork. My fork? My fork, 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 fork. Hoo-hoo. He hops up and down excitedly, waving the fork back and forth in an elaborate pattern above his head, as if he were performing some sort of ritual. Now I can go home. Farewell. Farewell, Nestor. As long as you aren't a priest. Priests hate forks. In 2nd edition D&D, yeah, they did, because it's a sharp weapon and you were only allowed to use blunt weapons as a priest. That actually didn't go away until 4th edition, I think? Because it's definitely still the case in 3rd, because the Dark Alliance games are built on 3rd. We just killed a man for a fork, didn't we? Yeah. But to be fair, Solar, my line of reasoning for that is we did kill a man for a fork, but at the same time, Nestor rambling about like I can't go home without my fork is probably correct, actually, due to the way that portals work in Sigil. 3rd had workarounds like War Domain. Nestor turns to leave, then, as if struck with some afterthought, he turns back around and hands you a scrap of something soft and rubbery. Severed ear. On closer examination, you notice there's an earring still dangling from it. Pocket the earring and discard the rotting flesh.
So I had to drop it.
Yep. Just portaled out.
Done.
Wait, what was there? Oh, wait, that's the earring, isn't it?
I'm gone.
No, I just dropped the rock, apparently. Usable only by thieves. Can I put this on Morte? Man, front-facing Morte really do just look like that, doesn't he? It's really crazy to me that we have, like, there's 4 more party member slots that we can fill. Some name might want to add and redeem for your full half hour of the cute voice. See, the reason why it's set to 10 minutes, or like 3 minutes, I think, is because it's mostly a worry of endurance.
Done.
Like, I've definitely done long stretches of the voice, but like, if it was a redeem that could be redeemed constantly, I'm not entirely sure how well my endurance would hold out. Okay, so that goes to Ragpicker's Square. That's where we're supposed to go.
I'm gone.
You know what? We have... Okay, so we have the Alley of Dangerous Angles. Actually, I have a bit of a, like, a bit of an immersion breaking question.
I'm gone.
Does anybody have any idea where I can sell stuff? Because I have a lot of shit in my inventory that I seemingly can't sell currently.
I'm gone.
Because I haven't found a shop to sell at. I swear to God, if you four try to jump me. They're walking toward me. Have I been to the bazaar? I have not.
Damn it.
Stop fucking running away.
Damn it.
I'm hurt.
Hi, Jindra. 100k redeem for a full stream girl voice redeem. See, here's the thing. I do want to try doing a full stream girl voice, like, not redeem, but like full stream of girl voice at some point. I just haven't gotten around to it.
All right.
And sways unsteadily back and forth, catches his balance for a moment, then manages to a sickly twisted smile at something just past your right ear. Greetings. He nods slowly, then manages a phlegm-filled gurgle, and a small green-colored trail of drool begins to drip from the side of his mouth, running down his scruffy, dirt-caked beard. It looks like he's barely able to stand up, much less carry on a conversation. Never mind, farewell.
All right.
Step right up, come see the burning man. Try to put him out, buy him a drink. He's thirsty. He's on fire. He's a red hot. Come on in. Come on in. See
Here's the burning corpse. Bazaar should be in the next area, as in like the next area
Done.
outside the hive, or oh, this guy's trying to, oh, he's trying to run away. Do we have to make it like to the market ward? You see a Dabu, but something about it strikes you as odd. It has the same shock of white hair and same greenish cast to its skin. Same pair of goat horns. Then you suddenly realize this one is walking on the ground, not floating. For some reason, that makes you uneasy. I had some questions for you. Dabu waits. Who are you? As you're about to ask, you suddenly realize you already know the Dabu's name. Name is Fel. As if in response, the Dabu inclines his head slightly, and a lone symbol appears above its head. It's blurry at first, then resolves into a white oval with a black lightning bolt through it. I feel like I know you, Fel. Fel bows reverently, and a stream of symbols swirl about its head, rotating clockwise, then counterclockwise. It takes you a moment to translate. It's the first time and not the first time you've come to this place. What voice should I give Fel? This is the first time and not the first time you've come to this place. Do you know who I am? Another series of symbols materialize quickly and sharply in the focus above Fel's head. The translation comes to you just as quickly and sharply as the symbols themselves. And as if you've translated the exact same string many times before. Yes, but I'm not permitted to tell your story. Why not?
Updated my journal.
For a moment, there's no response from Fel, and a stream of rebuses appear as if trickling out of Fel's mind. My apologies. I cannot change the nature of a man. You can't explain why, but the last sentence sends a crawling sensation through your skull. The nature of a man, what does that mean? Symbols that appear above Fel almost mirror the previous stream. My apologies. I cannot say. I see, I had another question for you. What is this place? Slow train of symbols materialize around Fel's head. Symbols take several moments to resolve, starting with simple lines, then fleshing themselves out into breathtaking colors. This is where I tattoo color and life upon flesh and bone. Can I see what tattoos you have? Oh. Interesting. Don't appear to be able to sell anything, sadly. Interesting. A whole bunch of tattoos that give you stat increases. I had some questions for you. What lies beyond that curtain, Fel? Caravan train of symbols slowly materialize around Fel one by one. It's my gallery. Your discarded skins are my canvas. I admire you. I'm saddened for you. Saddened for me? Why? Another caravan of symbols forms around Fel, this time forming a circle. Mark of torment lies upon your flesh. Tragedies and loss have built themselves upon it, like stones upon a foundation. Endured great pain. What do you mean? Long string of rebuses. Oh, yeah, long string of rebuses appear above Fel's head, then surrounds his arms like manacles. Admire you because you've never surrendered to the weight of these losses, despite the fact their chains hang on you still. Go on. Long string of rebuses appear above Fel's head, then falls, covering him like a cloak. These losses blanket this life and all of your past ones. You shed lives like a molting serpent. You're exploring the infinite paths of life. Tell me more. Long string of rebuses appears above Fel's head, and falls suddenly to the floor, streaming out behind him like a shadow. Take with you this warning. Each of your lives cast a shadow on existence. You must travel to a place where these shadows have gone mad and regrets have scarred the earth. Anything else you can tell me? Brief series of paper-thin rebuses appear in an orderly row next to Fel, then vanish into glowing motes. Do not sign anything. Very well. Another series of rebuses appear, forming a spiral. They have a texture of a question about them. Do you feel complete? I don't. In fact, ever since I woke up in the monastery, I feel like something's missing. Something inside. Fel nods and a series of symbols materialize into a halo around him. You are strong. Keep faith and you shall become whole again. I'll try. I had some other questions. Can you tell me how I died? Hell does not respond for a moment, then slowly and menacingly, 3 symbols materialize above his head, each of them casting a long shadow. Shadows. Shadows. 3 symbols swirl about each other, each leaving a faint black misty trail about them. They take on a ragged edge, like teeth and talons, and multiply. Where there were 3, there's 9. 9 becomes 27, until the room is a swarm of shadows. Many shadows. They streamed from the darkness, swarmed you, left you to die. Why? Shadowed symbols swirl into one, then dissolve to be replaced with a simple symbol. I do not know. I see. I have other questions. Can you tell me anything about these tattoos on my body? Bell studies your body for a moment, walking around you. Mirrors each symbol as he examines it, then returns to face you. I know them. None are by my hand. Tell me about some of them? Hell nods, symbols appearing around him like fireflies. Ones upon your back were scribed with a careful hand, and are directions for a mind that forgets itself. The symbol that lies upon your left shoulder is the mark of Torment. Torment? Symbol sharpens, gaining edges that are almost painful to your eyes. It is Torment, that which draws all tormented souls to you. Hell nods at your left arm, at your shoulder. Flesh knows it suffers even when the mind has forgotten. And so you wear the rune always. Hi, Maeve. Did we already say the, I think I know you? I think it is. I think we have said this. Let's see.
All right.
Oh, lovely. Think we have any more conversation topics after opening that? What happens if I ask Morte to translate? Morte scoffs. I'd sooner be strained through a Tannery's bells than unravel what this goathead's trying to say. You want a translator? Find a Sigil native. Okay. I guess we're done here.
All right.
Painted door. Or, well, you first take to be a door in this archway is actually a painting. The artist has made use of the shadows of the overhanging arch and some subtle texturing effects to give the door the illusion of substance. Examine it. Other than the skill of the artist, there's nothing remarkable about the painting. The door has been painted on a rough stone wall. You can feel the stone and mortar beneath the painted wooden texture.
All right.
I don't believe you. Thorns for trees. You see a tired-looking, sorrowful old man who's gazing at the ash-dead tree in front of him. mumbling to himself and tapping his chin as if trying to figure something out. Occasionally, he shakes his head sadly. Greetings? He seems momentarily startled as you interrupt his train of thought. He speaks in a calm, unhurried tone, but one full of sadness. Oh, greetings to you too, friend. Oh, how's this day find you? It finds me well. He smiles, but sorrow still lies in his eyes. That's good, friend. I hope your good fortune continues. He seems about to turn back to the tree. How's this day find you? He shrugs slightly and proffers? How is this word pronounced? Bit of a smile. Fortune finds me well, though I'm saddened just the same. Oh, why's that? Pats the tree beside him. It's the trees here in the hive. They're dying, friend, and no one cares. Seeing the look on your face, he holds his hands up as if to silence you for a moment. It may not matter to some, but it's important to me. I feel it's a shame to see the last tatters of life and beauty in this ward left uncared for. Die. You understand that, friend? Which word? Proffers. 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 It is a sad thing. He seems surprised, and he blurts out, Really? Oh, I mean, wonderful. Perhaps you would... He pauses and seems suddenly suspicious. Recomposes himself, speaking in his usual slow manner. In any case, that's good. I suppose you have some questions for me now? No, not just yet. What was it you're gonna ask? First time, the man seems genuinely happy. Beaming, he explains. It's difficult for anything to survive here. Just look around and you'll see what I mean, friend. I'm not sure if it's possible for the trees to thrive here, even though there's somehow or even if they were able to get enough light and clean water. Rofer? He nods enthusiastically. But if enough people care, really want them to live, I just know they'll survive. They'll turn green again and flourish. That makes no sense. He smiles knowingly, shaking his head. You're new here. I can see that now. You don't understand how things work in Sigil, friend. Belief is everything here. Everything. You could be right. I am right. I'm certain of it. A sense of conviction surrounds him like an aura. He seems so unlike the man you first spoke to. That's all I'd ask of you, friend. Just care for them. Hope for their recovery, and in time, should enough people want it, will come to pass. You do that for me, friend? Yeah, sure, I'll help. Excellent, my friend, excellent. I thank you. You've given me back my confidence, my purpose. Perhaps I can find others like you who will listen. Perhaps we'll make a difference. What about your companions, friend? You speak to them on my behalf? Morte, what do you think? Oh yeah, Chief, sure. Whatever you say. I'm serious, Morte. Can you make the effort? Morte looks at you for a while, silently, then nods. Yeah, I can. If it's that important to you, I'll do it. Thanks. I had some questions, Morns. Any change in the trees yet? Not yet, friend. Yep. Why are all the trees dying? Just look at your surroundings, friend. You imagine anything having an easy life here. And besides the wretched conditions, the Dabus rarely come to this part of Sigil. Why is that? Hive's a dangerous place, but that's not it. Dabus have the lady watching over them. No one's foolish enough to tangle with her, friend. I suppose it's really all on account of Fel. Fel? Really? Fel. He's, well, friend. I'll just say he's the He's the only Dabu that doesn't serve the lady. I don't know the whole dark of it, as they say, but he's shunned by his fellows and lives here, alone in the Hive. He runs a tattoo parlor, but most of Sigil is wary of the place. What's there to be wary of? Well, friend, since he turned from the lady, many people think it's just a matter of time before her shadow falls on him. No one wants to be about when and if that happens, I'm sure. You don't have any idea how he came to be shunned? Like I said, friend, I'm not too sure. I've only heard vague rumors about him being on the wrong side of the issue when some power decided to butt heads with the lady. You can always try and ask him, friend. I'm told he's friendly enough, if not a little odd. For a journal, can't recall. Cool. Never mind, farewell. Hey, I just got an achievement for reaching good alignment.
All right.
I've been a good noodle, chat.
Just see one of these, then.
I had some questions. Why did he tell me to ask him when I can't even ask him?
Done.
See a thin man with stained clothes, a hooked nose, and two stubby horns jutting from his forehead. He's stumbling about and muttering to himself. He stinks of brine, vomit, and cheap wine. Greetings. Eh? And squints blearily at you. Was it? What? Never mind, sorry to bother you.
I'm gone.
I like how the chatter cuts out when I, Really? How many times do we have to teach you this lesson, old man? You know, I'm not gonna lie, I'm actually a little bit surprised that I'm good aligned, considering the amount of murder that I've done.
I'm hurt.
$6. Bronze bracelet that doesn't stack. $9.
Right.
Come on in, Cutter. Come on in, Cutter. You're gonna love this.
I am running out of inventory space so damn fast. When did I get a magic dagger? Painted door to tenement of thugs.
I'm gone.
This woman with fading bruises on her face and arms, and a look of despairing longing in her sunken eyes. She may have been pretty once, but those days were long ago. She turns slowly to face you. Life pours into her features, and a spark of sardonic light that dances with her eyes. That makes you wonder if your eyes were deceiving you.
Oh, welcome to the smoldering corpse.
That's scarred, right? Because it's 2 R's. I'm looking for a journal. Would you happen to have seen it?
A journal? Oh, sure. I've kept an eye out for all stray journals, just in case some scarred man walks into my favorite bar and starts asking about it. And do you ask that of everyone you meet? What a fascinating life.
Smart mouth on you, don't you?
Aye, a smart mouth for a smart head. I ain't the addle cove you might think, sod. I got a brain on me.
So smart, you should be able to answer my questions.
Aye, traveler. What's it you seek?
Who are you?
I am Drusilla, and you must be clueless. Don't ask me how I know that, it just shines off you.
Shines, right. Answers the questions for me. What can you tell me about this place?
Here? This is the smoldering corpse, though the person smoldering ain't dead yet. He's just keeping himself alive till someone comes along to help him out. Sods who like to see people in pain come here. Fiends like it, folks who don't much care for being bothered come here too. And the name alone keeps out most of the Burks.
Who is he,
Updating
anyway?
My journal.
That despair you saw on her face before flits across it again, like a black-winged shadow before she masters herself.
And that's Ignis, one of the greatest wizards ever to come out of this slummy excuse for a cesspool. And they caught him, and they opened a channel to the plane of fire through him. And now he's just a doorway for it, keeping himself alive by force of will alone. If someone could douse him for a few moments, it'd give him his life back again. But they don't make enough water to do that.
Someone should be able to find something. Oh well. Can you answer some more questions for me?
Done.
Ochai. You see someone dressed as a female dustman with a half-empty glass in her right hand. As you near her, she calls out to you.
You, over there. Over here.
You notice there's something wrong about her, and your exposure to the dustman leads you to believe that she's just too lively to be a real member of the faction. I'll approach.
Hey, Cutter. Buy a lady a drink.
You know what? Sure.
My thanks, Cutter. And may you find the true death.
She pockets your money and looks nervously off toward the front of the bar. Give me some answers for my jink now. What do you want to know? You're not really a dustman, are you? She looks around nervously and seems to sober right up.
Why do you say that?
Because you don't act like a dusty and you're not offering contracts. In fact, you're taking money instead of giving it out for that corpse labor they do at the mortuary. She stifles a squeak of terror and hastens to explain.
No. I'm not a dustman. I just found these robes in the street and I didn't have enough money to get good clothes. And I, heard there was a dustman thief around. But you could probably find him somewhere else in the southwest part of the Hive. I saw him, but I hid from him. Please don't hurt me.
I'm not planning on it. You ought to know that you're not pulling it off too well. I'll answer some questions. Who are you?
Me? I'm Mochai. However the fuck you want to pronounce this name. I think Mochai? I don't know, it's my name. I say it's Mochai. I just like to, drink here and,
Lose your train of thought momentarily.
I'm just a person, you know?
Answer something else. What is this place?
A Smoldering Corpse Tavern. Can't you read? You, more bubbed than I am?
Bubbied? Probably Mokai, but who the fuck knows? Real. Get it? Tell me something else. I see ADP. Today's alignment, Lawful Gremlin. You know, funny thing about that, actually, we just hit good. We hit good alignment. Like, just like 10 minutes ago. Tell me about the other patrons here.
Dunno. They're just, people. I don't deal much with people, unless they're buying me a drink.
She looks at you hopefully. Who's the burning corpse? Burning corpse? I just like to drink here and I'm just a person when players decide to speak to an NPC I didn't even plan to have. Yeah, real.
He's, not a corpse. He's, some crazy wizard. Ask around, they'll tell you the story.
Very well. Nothing, farewell.
Done.
This is a woman with a far-off cast to her face. She's not exactly young, nor is she exactly old. Perhaps it's the expression of slight disbelief that's etched across her features. The expression says she doesn't believe her senses. When she focuses on you, she speaks sharply, but not angrily.
And do you need something?
Who are you?
I'm Kiaris Thorntongue. I'm here with my cousin because my uncle doesn't want me wandering the Hive on my own. Wow.
Hi, Ender. How are you?
He doesn't seem to think I'm competent on my own. He might be right, but I don't know this city or this plane very well. I'm not from here. I'm from the Prime.
Prime? What's that? Cocks her head and looks at you oddly.
The Prime Material Plane? The place where the belief in the outer planes, or the outer planes are shaped of was born? The world? Stars, moons, and so forth? Belief in reality? I sure hope you know what the Prime is, because it's an essential part of planar knowledge.
I knew that. I had other questions. Many awawas in chat. I'm looking for a journal.
Sorry, I'm new in town, and I can assure you I haven't seen anything that I'd recognize as a journal. And though I'm told that something appears to be a person, could in actuality be the journal for some other creature. I'm still trying to get my head around the philosophy here. It's a little overwhelming, but they say if you stick with it, it becomes much easier.
What can you tell me about this place?
And this is, I understand, the Smoldering Corpse Tavern, named after that fellow near the entrance. From what I can see, it's a dive where scum mixes with cream to create an entirely unappetizing new flavor. Of course, being from the Prime, my perceptions might be jaundiced?
Boyo. You're from the Prime? What are you doing here?
I'm visiting, expanding my horizons. The Prime is such a fine place to live, but it's a little too real, I suppose. My uncle gives each of his nieces and nephews a few years in the plains, and allows us to remain here if we so desire. I think I might so desire. I'm fascinated and repelled. But then, I suppose that's the nature of the plains, isn't it?
As I understand it, yes. You have enough knowledge to give me some answers? Who's that burning by the entryway?
And that's Ignis. He attempted to burn down a portion of the city some time back. Centuries, and it was punished by being turned into a living flame. A nasty fate, but fitting for a known pyromaniac and arsonist. From what I've read, it'd be nice to leave him well alone.
How do you know so much about this place? Aren't you a Prime?
The Uncle Seelan and I share is a wizard who makes his home here. He brings his relatives to the plains on occasion to show them the delights and horrors of the multiverse. I wanted to be sure I was ready for the trip, so I prepared myself extensively. I probably know more about the city than my cousin who's lived here his entire life.
She gestures despairingly at the man nearby. Quite an uncle. What was that you and your friend were saying about Sigil? Or Sigil?
He's not my friend, he's my cousin. He was just telling me that this isn't the center of the multiverse. Despite it being located smack in the middle of the Outlands, despite it being the focal point of portals from all over the cosmos, there isn't a known place with more despite all the quarreling the gods do over it. And despite the sheer variety and contraction of power that accumulates here, and there's no place like this in the cosmos, and he's telling me it's nothing special. Huh.
That's an interesting perspective. Perhaps you both have elements of truth?
Perhaps you're correct, but I find that such relativism is often beyond me. Either the place is important or it's not. Paradox may feel the planes, but there must be sense to it somehow.
For a collector by the name of Farad, have you seen or heard of him?
Collector? I don't believe I've heard the term.
She pauses, thinking.
Is that one of those haulers haulers of the dead? The poor folk who collect the Hive's innumerable victims for money?
Yes.
From what I understand, they mostly congregate in areas of the Hive that are further from the mortuary, where there's more life and more violence. Your best bet might be to concentrate your search away from the House of the Dead.
It's a good suggestion. Thank you and farewell. See a scaled fiend who looks very similar to the one standing next to him. In addition to the pierced left ears, both are black-haired and reptilian, with bat wings tucked against themselves. This one has a small scar under its left eye. Greetings, old comrade. It's truly a joy to see you again. Again? What I mean, dear man, is that there's that time our old enemy has performed a vicious disservice on you. Robs your memories and steals your recollections. You do not recall us. Why, it's because you have fallen prey to one of mortality's weaknesses. We're old friends of yours, old indeed. What can we do for you? Estrogen blast. Questions? Perhaps we have answers. We're certainly eager to aid you, old friend. Who are you? Ethelgrin. Time has robbed our companion's memory. I forgot what I was doing for Tigarin's voice. Truly, I'm aggrieved, but as am I, Tigarin, truly aggrieved. Yet I rest easy, as after all, it has after all been many hundreds of years, and we know how the minds of mortals tend to dissipate with age. Ah, well spoken, old friend. We are but a pair of Abishai on leave from our current assignments in Baator. I'm Tigarin, the thrice damned. I just spat all over my computer screen. So named for my ability to find the best in every situation. And this is Ethelgrin, who's earned himself no special name, though not for lack of trying. Lack of trying? What do you mean? Ethelgrin ignores you as a response to its companion. And once again, Tigarin. I immediately forgot what this voice was as well. You've cut straight to the truth of the matter. And though perhaps it is best not to have earned that sort of notice, one bearing the name thrice damned must surely have incurred. I have some other questions. Morte whispers to you. Boss, I don't like this. They're not supposed to be here. Blood War hasn't kicked the Celestials' asses bad enough that any fiend can go furlough. They want something. Read carefully. In the meantime, Tigarin needs to respond to his companion. In its turn, Tigarin ignores you as it replies to its comrade. Once again, I maintain that any notice is better than no notice at all. Oh wait. Old friend, does this answer your questions as to our identities? So, Tigarin is the deep voice, and Ethelgrin is the higher-pitched one. I suppose it will have to. What are you doing? What are we doing? Why, is it not perfectly clear, old friend? We're on leave from our beloved assignment, taking for ourselves some much-needed rest, and perhaps inducing some additional recruitment for our glorious cause. Our superiors fully support our presence, to be sure. In a more immediate sense, we're taking our entertainment in this delightful establishment, and of course we're celebrating the return of our old friend. However, the stench of the breezes, which occasionally waft the scent of goodness in the door, abases us, somewhat leaving us physically, mentally, and spiritually weaker. Fortunately, the air in this ward of the city carries a delicious tang of pain and supplication. Wouldn't you agree? Again, the fiend smiles broadly at you. Hi, Chuckling Bird. What is this place? This is the Smoldering Corpse Tavern, one of the more entertaining taverns your kind has seen fit to erect in this city. Poetic justice of the burning fellow at the front of the establishment is really quite a fine touch. Was there something else you wish to ask? Tell me about fiends. As we see it, there are two kinds of fiends. Those who are correct and those who are not. Our side, that of the Batazu, is correct. The other side, that of the cursed, hated, chaotic Tenari, is incorrect. It must be exterminated. We hold the Tenari directly responsible for the Blood War. If it were not for them, we could have settled the lower planes in peace. Wouldn't have all the bother of fighting this wretched war. Nor would the unfortunate spillovers into the other planes be such a cause for concern among the namby-pambying do-gooders. The Tenari are directly to blame for the multiverse's sad state of affairs. So when they're talking about this, the Tenari are the demons from the abyss, right? In like lore, they're the demons from the abyss, and the whatever the other one was, the Batazu, those are the devils from Avernus. This game is also really showing how much of a fucking nerd I am for D&D lore. That's not really what I was asking. I wanted to know what differentiates you from them. Bean pauses for a moment, then brightens. Yes. You see, we represent law and order. Those who break the law must be punished. We have no law. Oh, wait, this is the wrong voice. We have no law. We have only anarchy. Surely you can see what anarchy has done for the abyss. It spawned horrors beyond imagining. Any excuses the Batazu state may have indulged in are simply to counter the rising tide of chaos represented by the Tenari. We mean no harm to anyone. We just prefer to understand where the boundaries are. I was correct. Do you know collector named Farad? Farad? I've heard the name. Is he not a sage of some sort? A necromancer? Or is he a diviner of rubbish? I've heard of him, friend, but I do not have the pleasure of his company. Perhaps one of the other patrons here can help you. I'm looking for a journal. I keep no journals, friend, and I counsel that you should not either. Ask my dear comrade Tagarin why, and you shall receive enlightenment. Very well, Tagarin, why should I not keep a journal? Because, friend, it's easy to make a mistake of committing a true word to austerity. Wow, thank you, dyslexia. And easier still for someone you once trusted. And here he shoots a glance of full venom at Thelgrin. To find that word and use it against you. Indeed, it can even lead to actions tantamount to desertion. Leaving or losing a journal can cost you your very existence. I see, farewell. Boss, I'm more sure than ever that these Burks ain't on the up and up. Sounds to me like they deserted. Like they're looking for some angle that'll elevate their status in Baator. You don't want to be talking to him, boss. You don't know what game they're playing. You could get burned, literally. Alright, Morte, I'm done.
I'm gone.
Oh. Bro's name is O. Consul O? From hit game Xenoblade Chronicles 3? See a man standing stock still. He isn't moving a muscle. On closer examination, it appears he isn't even breathing, just standing. His eye sockets are empty holes in his face. Contained within their bounds is a flat gray light that seems to dance with possibility. Looking into the sockets, the eerie, empty feeling of a limitless void shivers through you, as if you gazed into a sliver of eternity. The head slowly swivels toward you. Notice that no muscles appear to move under his skin as he turns, and he speaks in a pure, bell-like tone. Helmet Wanderer? Have you forgotten? You have forgotten again, haven't you? Do you know me, stranger? As he opens his mouth, you get that feeling of eternity again. Inside his mouth, you see no tongue, no teeth. It's almost as if this man were a shell surrounding an illimitable? Wow, that's one hell of a word. Surrounding an illimitable expanse. I have spoken with you before, and you always forget. Your endless quest to discover yourself ends always in your amnesia. Draw close to the truth and recoil. Let us hope that you have the strength to endure your existence. What do you know of me? How do you know this? I know that you, like a fly, rise up from the wreckage of your old self, buzz about for a time, curl up and die at the window of truth. Bumble about the pain, seeking the light without any plan to your actions, and fall, exhausted when you fail. You alight on others to feed from them for a time, and move on with no regard to them. I've watched you come here and listen to your words, watched you move away no wiser. Will you learn from your mistakes, Seeker? Have a good day at work, wizard. Who are you? I am O. For some reason, when he speaks his name, it sounds like he's speaking of much more than a single letter. As if speaking his name contained untold possibilities and nuances. No human tongue could ever create such a sound. What are you? It's my name. It is the name of a portion of eternity. I'm a letter in the divine alphabet. Understanding me leads to understanding existence. I am writ in the true names of half of everything. My being encompasses truth. I am mathematic, organic, metaphysic. Oh, the scientist. Yeah, he really do just, like... He's sounding more and more like Console O by the second. So what does that mean? Divine alphabet is written the name of everything that exists. From the seed at hearts of elemental planes to the core of the great beyond. My brothers/sisters. A single word translates into the two in your mind. Yeah, I think you mean, sibling. And I reach across all that is, was, or ever shall be. We are thought and reality and concept and the unimaginable. So tell me about the great beyond. Hi, Kitsune. You would not understand. No mortal possibly could. It is beyond the powers of comprehension of all but the most powerful of powers. Once they understand, they move beyond the veil of mortal comprehension. I can explain it no more than that. Perhaps sometime you will understand. Oh, the scientist is a character from a musical? I'm not well versed in musicals, despite the fact that I work at a theater. So what are you doing here? Why, I'm watching the ebb and flow of mortality. And what do you see? You mortals are like wasps. You build your lives/nests from the slimmest of branches, and when the wind shakes your home/life free, you seek to sting the wind to death, instead of realizing your foolish mistakes, attempting to repair the damage you've caused yourselves, and learning from your experience. Bring harm to any who have the misfortune to blunder near you in your time of pain and distress. My advice to you and all mortals, stop acting like an insect and start acting sentient. Guessing it's a dinner theater? It is a dinner theater. This is the thing you love about Sigil, you just run into these kinds of people at bars. Yeah. See, Sigil is such an interesting setting because, like, I don't know how much of this is true for this game, but like it kind of acts as a like gathering point between a whole bunch of settings. Like it's got all of the like planes, which is the, you know, whole Planescape setting, but it also contains the prime material plane, which is also is, you know, the Forgotten Realms and Orth and fucking Grin. I'm sorry for anybody who likes Dragonlance. My vitriol for Kryn is at least partially a meme. It's because we spent an actual, like, we spent 2 months in real time on a boat in the middle of a sea of lava on Kryn in a campaign, and it it certainly was a time. And so it's become a joke that our party fucking hates Kryn. That sounds dull. It was more interesting than it sounds. Sigil is thankfully a part of Greyhawk, so it's technically part of Orth. But at the same time, it's also tied to, like, the Blood War and all that, which is also tied into Toril and the Forgotten Realms. Glad to hear that, but probably harrowing. Honestly, the arc of our current campaign where we made it into Sigil is like one of the most fun times I've ever had playing D&D, because I got to finally stop playing the serious, like, straight man of the group, and I got to play funny little Chaos Kobold who is like, yes, directly in the middle of Sigil, I will summon a dragon for fun, so that I can carry this unconscious man back to the grove that our dragon friend hangs out at. There are several major cosmologies of D&D. It's weird because, like, I'm like kind of familiar with Planescape, but at the same time, I'm also familiar, like, I'm also familiar with Spelljammer as well. Granted, it's the 5e pared down version of Spelljammer, but still. Man, I wonder if that Spelljammer game that came out, like, I think slightly before this was any good. Probably not. I'm looking for a journal. It's urgent. You know where I might find it? I know where you can find it, but it is not my place to reveal such information. Rest assured you will find it, as well as the man you seek. Since when have you ever been a straight man? That's a good point. But yeah, it's really weird because I play, well, despite the fact that for the most part I tend to play charisma characters, I tend to be the party's, like, I tend to be the one in the party that actually has restraint for the most part. And now I'm playing a charisma character who's a Chaos Goblin, but it's Chaos Kobold instead, and it's very fun. And in my other campaign, I'm playing a monk who is kind of, she's like the team mom sort of vibe. I even gave her the chef feat because she's the team mom. She cooks food for all of the gremlins. Wait, chat, speaking of D&D, actually, I have a screenshot that I need to show you. I posted it on my Blue Sky when it happened, but let me see if I can find it real quick so I can show it to you. Here it is. Here's our turn order from not the one where I'm playing the kobold. This is the one where I'm playing the monk. Croissant. I especially like the implication that -8 is higher than 0, and also the implication that hi, I'm Bimby is lower than 11 but higher than -8. Yeah, the -8 is my character, by the way. That's Hrar, the Arms of the Astral Self monk, who despite it being a despite us being in a like normal Forgotten Realms, like we're doing a very heavily modified of Lost Mines of Phandelver currently. And and I asked the DM, and I was just like, hey, I have a funky backstory thing. Uh would you hear me out? And she was just like, absolutely. And I was just like, okay, I want my character to be, because she has the sailor background, I want my character to be like a like spelljammer character who got like effectively abandoned on Toril. Mm. Anyway, you know where Farad is? I know where he is. I can only give you one word. Nearby. You'll find him in the Hive, under a veil of secrecy. Tell me of the patrons of this tavern. Patrons of this place are varied, yet all mortal. Like all mortals, their concerns are limited, with potential of blossoming into actual truth. I can tell you this, though. You may find a companion dear to your heart here. At least as dear as your heart will allow. I think I should be insulted, but I'll let that slip. Answer another question, will you? Tell me about yourself. Okay. Pleased to meet you, oh, farewell.
I'm gone.
Sounds like a cool story. Did it work out? Kind of. It's kind of a work in progress currently. Because, the rest of the party kind of knows at this point, but we haven't really had downtime to, like, for her to be confronted about it. See a short, rotund man with a perplexed expression on his face. And the lines on his loose skin, it looks like it's not too uncommon. He carries a flag and a veil that looks like it's in the process of being emptied, rapidly. In between swallows, he speaks in a gentle voice, so quiet you can barely hear his words. Hello, traveler. My name is Ilquix. Can I be of assistance to you? Greetings. I'd like to ask you some questions. Who exactly are you? I am but a humble man with a slight flowery, poetical bent, a tendency toward the supernatural. I regret that I have none of my supplies here. I would be most eager to teach you of the ways of power. Perhaps some later time. I like that. For now, I have some other questions. What can you tell me about this place? This place? Smoldering Corpse Tavern. A fine establishment with a fine owner. Barkus is a true gentleman and ambitious to increase his standing to boot. These, I feel, are the most useful qualities one can possess. They certainly do drive people. What can you tell me of the patrons of this place? The patrons of this tavern are many and varied. I've spoken with most and find them delightful, with the exception of those creatures of law. He gestures toward the pair of Abishai sitting in the corner. They taint the air with their presence, lending an unwholesome stench to an otherwise pleasant environment. I recommend speaking to Barkus. I understand he requires some aid with a trifling matter. And we have that O character. I'm still trying to understand him fully. It is quite an undertaking, if I say so myself. Those are the folk of interest here. The others, well, perhaps I'm too discriminating. Why do you despise creatures of law? Nice. Yeah. It's really funny. I built Hrar the monk as a bit of like a joke idea because I was like, I wonder how busted it would be if I built a monk that could punch people from 15 feet away. And the answer is, especially because like it's been more roleplay heavy and like I'm not min-maxing it either. It's just like I thought it would be funny to see if I could like see how well it would work, and it kind of works. It's mostly just been a source of memes. A fine question, my friend. My upbringing has been on the chaotic side of the Great Ring. You may speak to Kandrian Ilborn, a misnomer if I ever heard one of the plains. He fancies himself a great planewalker. To return from my digression, I have lived many years with chaos, and I find it pleasantly agreeable. To me, the taint of law is in those creatures there. It's reprehensible and tyrannical. If I'm to be crushed underfoot, I'd rather it be by an individual than a machine that knows nothing of emotion. I agree. No quick smiles toothily. His fat cheeks barely moving. To each his own, I say. Did you have more questions? Yes. Who's that Burning Man? And that? That is the last unfortunate who chose to exercise his individual will without the strength to back up his desires. His name is Ignis, and he was a pyromaniac. He burned and didn't burn the right people, and wound up channeling more raw power than he could control. Now, well, you can see what became of him. If you wish to learn more of him, perhaps that poor creature Drusilla can help you. You think we could get him as a party member? I see. Farewell. We got a lot of characters. See a leather-skinned man with just a hint of ashen color in his face. His teeth seem sharper than normal, and his eyes are filled with boredom that comes with having seen too much. His voice is nasal and clipped. Hey, you again, eh? What do you want this time? You again? What do you mean? Yeah, you again. You got a hearing problem or something now? You was in here about 15 years ago. Got all bubbed up, smashed up the place, and left a pile of coin that wasn't enough to pay for the damages. plucked out your own bleeding eyeball and tells me you'll be back to reclaim it when you got 200 coins together. 15 years of interest, you got about 500 coins. You got the jink, pal. I got your eye. I don't have that much currently. You're not getting your eye back. Makes sense? Come talk with me when you got the jink. Very well. Who are you? Me, I'm Barkus, owner and keeper of this place. What is this place? Didn't you see the sign out front? Didn't you see the Burke burning over the furnace when you came in? It's Smoldering Corpse Cutter. Best damn bub house in Sigil. At least the best damn bub house in this part of the Hive, which makes it makes it one of the best in Sigil. Now they got fancy places with plants and such in the ladies' ward. They got fiendish taverns salted around the rest of the Hive, but none of them got the character of the Smoldering Corpse. Who is the corpse anyway? Him, Ignis. He used to be a flame wizard, burned down pieces of the Hive and got himself scragged by a bunch of other mages. You want to know more about him? Go talk to Drusilla down there by the door. What can you tell me of the patrons here? Oh my god, that's a big block of water. Big block of water? Big block of text. Pfft. I don't know where I got water from. I don't make a point to interfere with the lives of people who give me their hard-earned jink unless they ask me to. So, over there is Kandrian, Planewalker. He's a good one to talk about any planewalking questions you might have. He's been pretty much everywhere. Down there's Ebb Creekness, old harmonium basher. Don't hold that against him. He's a tout. He's got a good heart in him, and he knows Sigil up and down. The fiends over there are Ethelgrin and Tagarin. Word of advice, don't deal with them. They might be low rankers in the fiend hierarchy, but they're still fiends. You got Ilquix over there, not trustworthy. Some mercy killers looking for some poor sod. Calling the gifts her eyes is a mystery to me. Don't know much about him. You don't talk much. Finally, you interested in earning some free bub? Yes. There's a bubber over against the far wall, hanging out in the shadows, who's been trying to work up her courage to slip out without covering her tab. I want you to make sure she won't do that. You do it, you got free bub here for life. Okay. I'll do it. I'll let you know when I'm done.
Done.
Barkus says it's time for you to settle your tab. Pay up. Jumps a little, and her nervous tension becomes full-fledged anxiety.
Oh, what are you going to do?
Ask you to pay up? No.
I can't afford it. Can you spot me just 10%? I'll, give it to him, and he knows I'll pay the rest.
How much do you need?
I think I need about 100 coins to get started on that debt.
100 coins is a lot currently. But like, I'm an altruistic individual. Here, I have 100 coins. She pockets your jink, glances briefly toward the door, almost as if she's weighing her chances of dashing out. Sighs heavily as she realizes there's no chance and begins to walk glumly toward the bar.
My thanks, I suppose.
Don't mention it. Don't even think about heading for the door until you pay it up.
All right.
Just watching her. Silly girl defense. Having a conversation from all the way across the bar.
I'm going. You don't have to pester me.
Just making sure.
I'm gone.
Back again. You won't be having trouble with Mochai again. Friend, you have full bar privileges. For free. Anything you want, anytime. That must have been a pretty big tab she ran up. You don't know the half of it. Want a drink now? Set me up.
I feel stronger.
Hey, we leveled up. This one. I kind of want to put it in wisdom. Just because wisdom says that it gives me an extra substantial bonus because I'm past 18. It says your wisdom surpasses that of all mortal men. You gain a substantial bonus to all earned experience points. So yeah. I think I want to do this. And I'll probably regret it later. Also, we're at level 5. We've actually got a decent chunk of health now. Looking for a journal? A journal? Paper and words? And that sort of thing don't get much stock down here in the Hive. People here can barely read the sign above the door, much less an entire journal. If you're looking for a journal, you'd do better to have a system instead of asking folks willy-nilly. Save beforehand and see if it's a good investment. Sybil, if that's in response to the giving the girl 100 coins, you might want to refresh because that was a little bit ago. Looking for Farad the Collector. Turns and spits on the floor. Farad? You may as well just turn your back and let him sink a dagger in it. Though from the looks of you, you already have. If you're dead set on finding Farad, pardon the pun, talk to Ebb Creekness over there. He should know something of value. I want something to drink. Information. Hurry it up, will you? I got paying customers. That was the same. I want Arborean, Fire Wine, and Fire Seeds. Passes you a glass of the deepest red wine and a handful of brightly colored seeds. Stick the seeds in your mouth, he advises. Take a swig of the wine. Don't be surprised when the seeds catch fire. It won't do you any harm. It tastes like no other. He's right. You pop a seed in your mouth, it mingles with your saliva and bursts into a tiny flame. You quench it with a swallow of fire wine, and the taste is indescribable. Marcus smiles. You want another? Not right now.
Done.
And nah, the wisdom. The man before you is old. Dry yellow skin has the scars of one who's traveled everywhere, and never rested long in any one place. His pinched face is inhumanly angular, and his ears sweep out from his skull, tapering to points. Wears a loose-fitting orange tunic, and a strange shimmering blade is strapped across his back. Oh. Blade looks to be a two-pronged glaive made of some metal whose surface swirls like a film of oil on a pond. What's my character? Like the character in the like the monk that I was talking about earlier? She's a bugbear. The man turns to you, his eyes like polished coal. He stares through you for a moment. You wonder if he might be blind. Weapon suddenly turns dead, flat black, mirroring the man's eyes. Are you alright?
Hail, traveler.
He says nothing for a moment, merely searches your face with his eyes. Hail, traveler. His voice is quiet and somber, like a wind whispering through the branches of a great tree. Hail.
Your eyes are the weight of one who has traveled far to be in this place.
It's your eyes as a gaze burrowing into yours. His weapon drains of its black color, resuming its shimmering you noticed before you spoke to him. You could say that. Anne's gaze does not waver from yours. I am known as Decon. The emphasis he places on the word known strikes you as odd, yet familiar at the same time. You are not known to me. I do not know myself. Meant the character we just boosted the wisdom to. Oh, it's a pre-made. You don't get to make a character for this. You get to. It's a pre-made character named the Nameless One, and the whole deal is that you're trying to figure out his backstory as you go. That is for the best. In knowing yourself, there would be little in the plains left worth knowing. He falls silent for a moment, still studying you with his coal black eyes. I would know why you've come to this city. I'm looking for answers. I have many questions. Speak your questions. I will hear you. Are they any particular race? I don't think so. Not as far as we're aware of yet, currently. He's basically like a zombie, kind of. Your features are unfamiliar to me. What are you? A Githzerai. A Githzerai? Githzerai is one of the people. One of the people? Githzerai. Yes, but what are the Githzerai exactly? Decon is silent for a moment, then speaks. Our history does not need to be made known to you. We would bleed to death on Time's blade before I recited a fraction of the histories of our people. I don't need to know your histories, but I know of your people as they are now. Decon is silent for a moment. Know this, and accept it as an answer. We are the people who made our home upon the shifting plane of limbo. With a deft motion, Decon slips the blade from his back and holds it before him. I'll wait and see what happens. There we mold the matter of limbo with our minds, forge cities with our thoughts. As you watch, a series of rippling waves of metal begin to roll forth from the center of the blade. The pitch and crest of the waves match the inflections of Decon's voice. The chaos we dwell, only our knowing to preserve us. We are the Githzerai. I mean, to be fair, the Githzerai are a little bit less murder crazed than the Githyanki are. They're still like not generally pleasant, but Because Baldur's Gate 3 has Lae'zel, who's a Gith Yankee. They're still twats. What is that blade you have? It moved, shifted in response to your voice. It's a Karak blade. It is an object that lets others know the rank of the wielder. A Karak? What does that mean? Dakan falls silent for a moment, as if searching for the correct words. Your tongue, the closest translation is chaos matter. People may shape it with their thoughts. Except Lae'zel, she's your murder wife. Shape it with their thoughts. Karak is not shaped by heat, but by knowing oneself. It is a mirror that reflects the will of the wielder on its surface, and in its edge. When one knows themselves, the blade is strong, harder and stronger than steel. One does not know themselves. The blade is as water, formless and weak. What rank does the blade signify? Blade is a symbol carried by the Zerth. The Zerth is one who knows the words of Zerthamon. In knowing the words of Zerthamon, they know themselves. Zerthamon? Zerthamon founded our race. He knew the Githzerai before they knew themselves. Defined the people. Gave them one mind. I had some other questions. Oh my god, this is a lot. Yeah, I know that I put a poll in, but like I think I might need to take a break from this just due to like the sheer volume of dialogue. Like, as much as I am very much enjoying this, like spending 2 hours reading out loud for chat, like it sometimes wears you out. Like, it wears you out pretty quickly, actually. Can you tell me about this city? It's known by the name Sigil. Among the people, it is known as the city that does not know itself. Doesn't know itself? What do you mean? The city exists, but it does not know itself. In not knowing itself, its existence is flawed. How is it flawed? The city exists in opposition to itself. It set itself apart from the planes, yet it seeks to be everywhere at once. Its walls are doors, and yet it keeps those doors locked. Such an existence tells of a thing that does not know itself. Not knowing itself, it is flawed. You speak as if the city is alive. It may not be aware and know itself in the sense that you or I might know ourselves, but it lives, it grows, changes, and touches the minds of all that live here. Need help with it? Seem to place a special emphasis on knowing? What do you mean? All things, whether structure or flesh, their existence is defined by their knowing of themselves. And if a man does not know himself? When a mind does not know itself, it is flawed. Mind is touched, the man is flawed. When a man is flawed, that which he touches is flawed. Dakan pauses. It is said that what A flawed man sees, his hands make broken. You know of yourself? The Khan falls silent. His coal black eyes take on the same distance that you noticed when you first spoke. I ask again, do you know yourself? The Khan speaks again. His voice has changed. His words echo, like a great stone dropped into a chasm. It looks like he's forcing the words from his chest. It's not my will that you know this. Never mind, I had some other questions. Do you know of a man named Farad? That one is not known to me. Awesome. Lost my journal. Awesome. Oh. You turn to leave, the man speaks sharply. First time you've heard his tone change since the conversation began. Hold. The man's voice levels out. The city is not known to you. I would travel your path with you. Sure? I accept. An extra blade would be welcome.
Your path is mine.
Strangely enough, his voice seems distant, and it echoes as if he was speaking from across a great distance. Very well, let's go. Nice. Man, you are, like... Dekan over here, like, not even... This just looks like a normal dude. This is not a Gith Yankee, or a Gith Sarai. He's so polygonal. Why does this face for Morte look like he's pogging? Gaunt, though. Is Githzerai being green from, like, specifically 5e? Or is it like a later edition thing, just in general? You see a trim, muscular man dressed in clothing that's comprehensively drab and mundane, compared to most of the outfits you've seen in the city. He carries himself with an air of supercilious? Supercilious arrogance. He also looks dramatically out of place here. What do you want? Who are you? I'm Elias, warrior of renown. Surely you've heard of me. No. Can it truly be? Can it truly be that none of this town have heard of me or my exploits? Alas, I shall have to prove myself all over again. Here I had thought my fame had spread across the world. What world are you from? I come from the city of Alaburn. The river Tame? Surely you've heard of its glories and wonders. No matter, no matter. This place is benighted and ignorant when it comes to the splendors of true cities. I'm told that my land is what is called a prime by the denizens of the city, though a prime of what I do not know. I'm not familiar with the city of Alaburn. Which setting is that from? Is that from Greyhawk? How did you get here? I was chasing my old foe, villainous lifeshade Tanilel. Pauses, waiting for acknowledgement, then continues. He conjured his demonic magic and opened himself a doorway and hurled himself through it. Before he could flee me entirely, I threw myself after him and found myself here. That sounds like quite an adventure. Actually, you're one of the clueless. He bristles, reddening, and his hand clutches convulsively around the hilt of his sword. Clueless, is it? I take offense to your words, sirrah, and I bid you farewell in the hopes that we should never cross paths again. Turns away from you, still flushed with pride and rage. Wanted to ask some questions. Who are the patrons of this tavern? The only person I know here is Ebb there. I'm new to this place, and I do not make it my business to meddle in the affairs of others. Did you have any further questions for me, or may I continue to enjoy my solitude? I'm looking for a journal. Have you seen one recently? A journal? Where would I have seen that? When I'm new to this place, how would you expect me to remember a journal? Not only are you insulting and offensive, it appears you're stupid as well. Let's just call it even on the insults now, shall we? Call it even? Not until you apologize, villain. It looks like he's just spoiling for a fight. Or shall I provoke you more? Very well then, I apologize. Then, and I suppose as a point of honor I must accept your apology. Very well, in return I offer my apology as well. Let us set the matter aside and speak no more of it. Very well. Have you heard of a collector named Farad? Farad? Collector? These are names and terms that are unfamiliar to me. But if I should hear them mentioned in any other context, I shall certainly remember your face. Indeed, I could not forget it. Thanks, farewell.
I'm gone.
You see a slightly stooped old man with a full gray beard and a lion's mane of gray hair. He wears a couple of shoulder guards as armor and keeps a helmet nearby. He smokes a pipe and carries a pouch of tobacco around his waist. He looks pretty strong, but he's a little plump and also appears to have some sort of breathing trouble. Well, now aren't you a sight, lad? Never have I seen so many scars blanketing a fella. Like a scar cloak you're wearing. Or you've been hanging out in the grain thresher? He laughs. I'm just jesting with you, lad. No offense meant. I hope no offense taken. I'm Eb. Extends his hand. Greetings, Eb. Handshake is firm. Well, I hereby tender my apologies for the unfair jesting, lad. Hope no hard feelings. Can I buy you a tankard or two of something smooth, or smooth any ruffled feathers? Why not? That's the spirit, lad. Bide a moment. Rises to his feet and heads to the bar. After a moment, he returns to his seat with a pair of tankards. Here you go, lad. Drink up. Takes a massive swallow from his own tankard, puffs on his pipe, and says, "What can old Eb do you on this fine sigil day?" I had some questions about this place. Oh, well, I gathered that. But just to look at you, I mean, you don't look like you're from around these parts, lad. You look a little too out of sorts to be a seasoned native. Eb chuckles and takes another drink. What can I help you with, lad? You need to know the lay of the land? Who are you? Eb Creekness, third measure of the harmonium. I retired and being a tout with one's voice, since I don't step as lightly as I might these past 2 or 3 decades. He chuckles. Now, lad, who are you and what trouble might you be in? Third measure of the harmonium? Oh god, he's a cop? Yeah, real. He's a retired cop, but still a cop. Ed puffs up slightly in pride and gets a semi-stern look on his face. Aye, third measure of the harmonium. Relaxes a little. I haven't served a tour of duty in many a decade. Pushing a quill wasn't quite up my alley after the fights and skirmishes. Or after the fights and skirmishes I've been in. I just bide my time keeping tabs on things down here in the Hive. Helping out a little where I can. And you look like someone who might need a hand. Some kind of trouble, lad? Few troubles. I woke up in the mortuary and seem to have forgotten who I am. Eh? Ed blinks and frowns. What was that you said, lad? Woke up in the mortuary? Eb studies you closely. Oh, now do they mistake you for dead under all them scars, mayhap? Eb chuckles. Can't say I would have been any smarter. Puffs his pipe. Them dusties. Catches himself. I mean, them dustmen. Dusty's being a rude term to refer to them pale-faced fellas. I don't mean them too much disrespect. They have all the perceptions and friendliness of a gravestone sometimes, eh? Can't say I couldn't see them screwing that up. No, lad. You know someone named Farrod? Farrod? Eb frowns, takes a pipe from his mouth. No, lad. What you be wanting with a burk like Farrod? I think he stole some of my belongings. Oh, no doubt, lad, no doubt. Eb grumbles, chewing on his pipe. You have to chain up everything around that grasping little spider. He should have been one of the fated, the way anything not chained down slips into his parlor. Don't give him a yard or I'll take a leak, eh? What do you know about him? Well, I don't know everything there is to know about old Farrod, but I know some of the dark surrounding him. If you're determined to track down that spider and nail him to a wall, then I suppose I could spill some of the chant, so you know what you're tangling with. Man, this voice has evolved very quickly. He pauses to tamp on his pipe. Farrod dug his nest deep into Ragpicker's Square not too long ago. Got a bunch of collectors and gangs together and started what one could almost consider a collecting faction. Be that as it may be. Where can I find him? Well, lad, if you're looking for Farrod, which I would say is pretty barmy of you, you're a little off the beaten path. I'm gonna be finding Ragpicker's Square. Chance is that Farrod set up his kip somewhere in the square. Even an old fellow like me who's been around the ring a few times don't know exactly where. I figure that Farrod wants to keep the dark of his location dark. If you're all bound and determined to find Farrod, go to Ragpicker's Square and try to dig up Farrod's location from some of the locals. Try and be careful about it, since there's plenty in the square that would make a gut harp out of you as soon as you look at you. This man's dialogue is also really funkily written. Missing a journal? You're missing a journal? Was there more to the journal than just pages and words? Otherwise, I can't imagine too many bloods who would bother themselves with letters unless it was really hot and spicy. Not much use for the books of learning around here. I don't know where you might find the thing. Ed puffs on his pipe, then snaps his fingers. But you know, lad, if Farrod is the one who scraped you off the Sigil Street, then he might know the dark of where your stuff is. It's most likely in his larder, if you ask me. Dead man is usually in no position to keep his possessions when the collectors tumble across his body. We already read that. We already know what this place is. Tell me of Sigil and its environs. You don't think small, do you? If you want to know what's outside the city, go talk to Kandri and Ilborn over there, the traveler of this place. As for the rest of it, well, I can tell you of the lady, the Dabus, keys and portals, the way we keep track of time, the way the city's laid out. What is it you wanted to know? Man, this is just like the exposition bar. Tell me of the lady. Oh no, not many know much about her, lad. Figuring even those who know a little more than a little don't know too much more. She's a mystery, she is. And even should you run across her, powers forbid, she's silent and deadly. Not evil, far as I can tell, but she keeps the dark about herself. Sigil pretty tight. No one's been able to penetrate it. If they have, they've been mazed. Go on. Chances are you won't meet her unless you do something really bad. Hurting a lot of people, killing a Dabu, challenging a rule, worshipping her. He hates that, you figure. Or interfering with the Dabu's work, which may as well be the lady's work. If you're lucky, just the mercy killers will come for you. If she comes, you'll be dead as soon as her shadow falls on you. What did you mean when you said mazed? Aye, sometimes bloods will be packed off to a place where they can do no harm. Ladies, see, they'll take a bit of sigil and make a little dimensional pocket out of it. A maze. She places those that have crossed her in there and lets them rot. Ed puffs his pipe. Now, you can't escape getting mazed once the lady sets her gaze on you, lad. She'll get you eventually, no matter how hard you try and dodge her. You can see, this is one thing that I always do that, like, you can actually see now that my cursor's on screen. I have to, like, with really big blocks of text, I have to, like, pull the cursor along to give myself a reference point. Because my brain doesn't read singular lines of dialogue. It reads, like, 2 lines at a time. It's really weird. You'll be walking down an alley or about to step through a portal. Take a left turn down a street you've gone manyfold times before, and suddenly you're someplace you don't recognize. Now, mazes aren't escape-proof. Always a way out of each one. Portal the lady places there. Just have to figure out where it is and how to use it. And some other questions about Sigil. Tell me of the Dabus? Aye, those funny floating bloods that speak in symbols. Eb laughs. Quite a piece of work, eh? Dabus are kind of the lady's janitors and workmen. Exactly what she wants. Make sure Sigil's running up to snuff, patching the walls, tearing down old buildings, building new ones, setting up portals, sealing off others, on and on and on. They're a pretty neutral, fair and bunch, and you don't want to interfere with one or kill one. We'll bring the lady's wrath down upon you, right quick. Tell me of Sigil's time, peak and anti-peak. The way we measure time in Sigil's by the brightness of the sky. See, we haven't got a sun and moon like most worlds. We just got this everlasting haze that brightens and darkens at regular cycles. What most folks call midnight, we call anti-peak. And what they call noon, we call peak. See, it's based on the peak and anti-peak of the brightness. So when someone says something about 5 hours past peak, that's what they mean. Ew, let me wet my tongue. Takes a pull from his tankard. The city floats above an infinitely tall spire. It lies... Yeah, infinitely tall spire. The spire. Lies on its side like a discarded wagon wheel, but there's no spokes that connect it to the spire. It's divided into 6 wards, each of them with its own function. Right now you're in the Hive. I think the purpose of the Hive is to be squalor to the rest of the city's grandeur. Laughs. Factions, philosophical clubs, or gangs if you prefer. Divide up the running of the city between them. Sorry, give me a sec. Were you in a faction? Eb raises his hands as if to stop you and laughs slightly. Oh, now hold on, lad. I'm no has-been faction member. They say... saying they're right. If one of you... once you're in Harmonium for life. For the bloods that try and make sure Sigil stays out of trouble. No rocking the spire, no folks getting too over-enthusiastic about hurting each other. But keeping the city down to a low roar. We try to keep the peace, lad, and most times we do a decent job. Now tell me the city's layout. We already read this. Oh wait. The city's called the Crossroads of the Plains, and the city adores, and the Cage. Got portals all over creation, they say. All manner of beasties come through here to trade, cull kip, or hop from one place to another. Now that's just the quick version. Lad, you'll have to experience the place for yourself. Mentioned something about portals? Sigel's called the city of doors for a reason, lad. There's portals everywhere. Portals are, well, like doors that lead across the multiverse. But they don't look like doors. Instead, they can be any bounded space. A window, door, pothole, picture frame, barrel hoop, spaces inside scaffolding, a wardrobe. Each could be a portal, waiting for just the right key to open it. Take you to some place in the multiverse. Now, keys.
How many words of dialogue do you think I've read tonight? This is far more reading than I was doing yesterday.
Aye. Each portal has a key, you need to open it. Now, while portals can be any bounded space, keys have more variety. They can be anything from a little tune you hum when next to the portal, dancing a jig, to being in the right mood, to having a piece of the place you wanted to go to in your hand, and on and on. In my youth, I once convinced a girl that kissing a man beside it could open a portal to Arcadia. Turned out I was right. Many trips to Arcadia did we have. Many portals probably have never been found. Some you can uncover just by asking people and getting the right key. Finding out the dark of a portal is the toughest part. I warn you, lad, portal hopping shouldn't be a pastime for a fella in your way. Nor should you be wandering Sigil after dark either. Do best to stick to the main ways, and open peek and watch yourself.
A lot. It's a wordy game. Multiple books worth.
Nothing, farewell. What other places can you recommend? Well, that puffs on his pipe and studies you. It's perhaps the best kib you could have wandered into from the start, judging by your tattoos. You might be partial to having designs on your body, in which case there's a tattoo salon and a little spire word from here. Want to stay away from the alley of dangerous angles if you can. Ignis torched that place not long ago. Ever since, a bunch of bad bloods have set up their kip in that stretch of desert.
Thanks and farewell. You ready for even more shit? I did read this one off stream, and this is a lot.
You see a soft-looking man with gentle, far-staring eyes. He dresses in supple leather clothing and carries various implements of use and destruction about his body, such as ropes, spikes, tinderboxes, and empty vials of air. He looks half gone, literally. There's an insubstantiality to his existence, as if his existence had been partially leached away. He focuses those eyes on you. Suddenly you find them gripping and determined. Greetings to you, O Seeker. Greetings? Carefully sets down the mug he's holding and gives you all his attention. I've seen the far reaches of the multiverse and returned to tell the tale. I've walked upon the bodies of dead gods and spun moonbeams in the astral ahead of 1,000 shrieking Githyanki nights. I've passed the edges of existence and watched my essence shiver away before me. What is it I can do for you? I have some questions. Perhaps I have some answers for you. Speak and I shall tell you.
Oh, that's neat.
I met a woman named Ingress with very bad teeth. She said she'd come through a portal, some world that was opened by a tune hummed near 2 crossed trees. Can you get her home? Pauses briefly thinking. I know the portal of which you speak, though I've not traveled it these 30 years gone. I'll take her home, Seeker. Go tell her to await my arrival, then meet me back here, and I'll tell you if I was successful or not. Thanks. Had some other
Updated
questions?
My journal.
Who are you? I am Kandrian Ilborn, traveler, dreamer, tale spinner, and so forth.
Chat, help me remember. Apparently, Planescape Torment has 52,000 words. Jesus Christ. Chat, can you help me remember to go talk to, what was her name? Ingress? When we're done with this conversation in like half an hour. You're a traveler. Tell me of the plains. I'm tired, Seeker. So tired. I'm fresh back from negation. I'll answer what I can for you, but I cannot promise you'll find satisfaction in the answers I give. What would you know? Would you hear of the outer planes, the prime material, or the inner planes? What's the difference? Difference is true essence, Seeker. The inner planes are matter, substance, true physicality. They are the building blocks of the multiverse. For it is from them that all belief in the elements springs. The inner planes filter through the ethereal plane of potential. Or the plane of potential, some say, which forms the elements into the worlds of mortals. Once past the ethereal plane, one reaches the prime material, where exist all manner of mortals and monsters and myths and machines. It is there that belief is born, and there that the spirits that create the outer planes are born. Mortals die, they pass through the astral plane, a no place that is thought and mental energy itself. It is in all things and in none. It is a paradox among other things, and it filters spirits into the great ring. Comprehend so far? Yes, go on. Now the outer planes. Where should I start? Do you know the cardinal rules of the planes on which all others are based? You know about the composition of the outer planes? Do you know of the great ring and its divisions in our hearts? You know of the individual planes. Each of these leads to the next, and so it is best to start from the beginning. Tell me about the composition of the planes. The outer planes... Also, I need to hydrate. Outer planes are created of and by belief and thought and faith. They take their imagined form from the prime material plane, shaped into forms that stagger the imagination, built by the accumulation of belief. Belief creates the planes. Belief is power here. Change belief and you can change the nature of reality. Creatures that are born here, plane-born, like the fiends and celestials, are truly born of the thoughts and concepts of mortals. They each express some sort of ideal, and the more powerful the ideal, the more powerful the being. Thus, the being that symbolizes love is one of the strongest of all. Go on. That's why the powers, gods some call them, live out here. This is where all faith in them comes. This is where they are at their most pure and most strong. The realms are extensions of their very beings, manifestations of their godly essence, all of it informed by belief. So the composition of the planes is belief. Tell me of the Great Ring now. Among the loose unity of planewalkers, we conceive of the infinite outer planes as a ring surrounding the plane of ultimate neutrality, the Outlands. The spire atop which Sigil sits is the center of the Outlands. The further one travels away from the spire, the less neutral each plane grows, until it splits into the neighboring planes. Each of these planes impinges on the Outlands, spinning themselves into law and chaos, good and evil. The Great Road marks the demarcations between the Outlands and the gate towns that spring up around the gates to these planes. Beyond the gate towns lie the hinterlands, uncharged territory that is lost to history. That loses thought. Danger lies in the hinterlands. Okay, go on. The outer planes differ by morality, not substance. You will divide the planes into 3 sets: the upper planes of good, the lower planes of evil, and the boundary planes of neutrality. These are then divided further by law and chaos, with the Outlands in the middle. Which of these interest you? The upper planes. Of the upper planes, there are neutral planes, the lawful planes, and the chaotic planes. Would you like to know of? Yeah. So many dialogue options. It's interesting. Like, don't get me wrong, I'm enjoying it, but like, oh my god. Tell me of the neutral planes. Neutral upper planes contain the Beastlands, place of neutrality and goodness with a slight tinge of chaos, where the animals rule in eternal noon and night. They hold Bitopia, twin paradise of industry and labor, where all work toward the good of all. And Elysium, the sweetest plane of goodness and calm I've ever come across. Alas, right now I'm not well enough to enjoy any of their restorative effects. What would you hear of now? Tell me of the upper planes. Tell me of the lawful ones. Kandrian gives a small shudder. I am not the best person to speak of the planes of law, he says. For the innate structure and ultimate patterns they impose frightens me. I steer clear of them because I value my individuality more than I value the knowledge they'll bring me. They include the regimented Arcadia, nearest of the good planes to the unbending order of Mechanus, and Mount Celestia, home of the Archons, an island in the Silver Sea. Assume you'd only have to read all 1,052,000 words if you somehow select all of the options. Yeah, but the thing is that, like, being thorough is very encouraged, so... tell me more of the upper planes. Tell me of the chaotic planes. These are where I feel at home, though I steer clear of Ysgard, for the most part. The endless battles and tests of metal among the floating earthbergs of the plain don't do much for my disposition. Arborea, though, he sighs. The mountains are taller, the air clear, and rivers pure. The game larger than anywhere else. It's a true paradise, a place where passions run high and the wine never ceases to flow. When I've recovered enough of my wits and myself, when we've done with the outer planes, you should ask me of the inner, and I'll describe my journey to you. I will return to Arborea's bowers and glades and lose myself for a time. Tell me the rest. Tell me more of the plains of the Great Ring. Lower plains. Ysgard sounds similar to you? Like the upper planes, the lower planes are divided into lawful, chaotic, and neutral. Each of them varies in terms of horrors and what those horrors do to a traveler's spirit, and all of them are best avoided. Which of them would you like to hear? The neutral ones. The neutral planes, eh? They're vile and barely understandable, and they're more insidious on their own than you could ever imagine. Take Jahana, for example. 4 volcanoes in stages of dormancy, floating in an infinite void. Each of them somehow alive, and each of them wanting your soul by whatever means they can get it. Populated with Yugoloths, worst of the fiends in my opinion, and you've got the place. Plane of ultimate evil, at least that's what they call it, is the Grey Waste. No place that drains color from your body and spirit, stealing away even your apathy. And it's the site of the worst battlegrounds in the war down there. Don't get me started. And you've got Carcerai on the chaotic side. I find it really funny that I know how to pronounce all of these plane names. Tell me about the war. Aye, the Blood War. At the name, your blood feels as if it freezes in your veins. At the name, your blood feels as if it freezes in your veins. Ilborn doesn't seem to notice. Sorry, give me a sec. Ilborn doesn't seem to notice, wrapped up as he is in his memories. 2 armies of fiends smashing together pointlessly across the lower plains, slaughtering mindlessly in the name of law and chaos. They'll aggrandize it, of course, but in the end, it's about hate and stupid endeavor that aids none and harms far too many. Are you confusing Ysgard with Asgard? Yeah, I'm not sure. Tell me about Carcerai. Ah, Carcerai. And its poisonous jungles, acid swamps, destructive waters, strung like a string of rotten pearls nestled within one another. He pauses and looks at you carefully, again fixing you in place with his eyes. Remember this, Seeker. Carcerai is a prison, home to the Gareleths. That's not a D&D monster I'm familiar with, but one of the most dangerous types of fiend there is. The strength of the prison is the strength of the captor. As strong as the prisoner lets it be. Destroy the prison keeper, and a body can escape the red prison. There's almost no other way out. Not when the gates close themselves against you and watch you spin off into the vast space surrounding the orbs. Be wary of Carcerai, traveler, for its bonds can be greater than flesh.
Updated my journal.
Why did I get updated journal? Tell me about the lawful evil planes. As much as I detest the order of lawful upper planes, at least they present a modicum of goodness. Their lower planar counterparts, though. Acheron's a place of ricocheting cubes that never see an end to battle, swarming with the souls of dead humanoids. Baator. He shivers involuntarily. Baator is a place best left avoided. There's Batazu. The fiends in the corner there. They are but the merest expression of the defiant corruption that embodied in that soulless machine of order. If you want more, talk to them, but remember, all that is bad about bureaucracy and order originates from Baator, and it spreads like a stain across the hearts of mortals. Though there's some knowledge to be found there, it's rarely worth the spiritual rape the plane inflicts. Jeez. Tell me about the chaotic planes. The Abyss isn't some place you should consider going. Where Baator's all orderly, the Abyss is full of chaos and change. None of it is pleasant. When it becomes something that approximates normalcy, that's when you should be most wary of it. It's home to the Tanari, which most primes call demons. And they've got that name for a reason. They're unpredictable and murderous. And the few you can trust are few and far between. The few I have met who I'd trust, I still don't trust entirely. They're the creatures of chaos and evil incarnate. And if they're putting on a friendly face, who's to say it's not part of a larger agenda? Tell me about the boundary planes. There are two boundary planes to my mind. They're diametrically opposed. One of them, Mechanus, is the very essence of law. A place where beliefs fit together, interlocking, turning in a massive machine that is the entire plane. Some folks would have it that the gears of Mechanus are the engine that drives the planes. The other plane is Limbo, a swirling morass of chaos that follows no rules. None. And just when a body thinks he's classified its behavior, it goes and changes on him. Or it doesn't. Just can't tell. I was in Limbo not too long ago. Tell me of your journey. Closes his eyes, remembering. I had a Githzerai guide with me, an anarch who could shape the illogical matter of the plane into forms of his desire. It fought off the harrying of the Slod. Oh god, Slod. The chaos creatures who call that plane home. It seemed there were more than usual. Then, one can never tell what's usual in Limbo. But I digress. In the midst of all this chaos, we came across a series of huge metal interlocking cubes, like some sort of puzzle box. It wasn't something we had shaped, consciously or not. We couldn't find a way inside. It was like a bastion of order within the confines of disorder. A seed of law. A It's the best I can explain it. Holy shit, Gith mentioned. We have a Gith party member now, actually, Maeve. This guy right here.
Updated my journal.
Tell me more. The Outlands. The Outlands are absolute neutrality. Probably the best place for a body to visit in the Outer Planes outside of Sigil. If you don't want to have a Plains morality forced into your heart, everything balances out in the Outlands, as it should be. The plane that sits at the center of the Outer Planes. Power's realms are scattered about here. There are a handful of gate towns that open into the rest of the Outer Planes. Gate towns usually mirror the philosophy of the plane their gates open to. If the balance of belief isn't kept in the town slips into the nearby plane. It's a bad situation for everyone, because few of the folks in the towns really want that change. But enough of the Outlands. What would you know? Okay, tell me about the planes in general. So that was all contained within Outer Planes. Tell me of the Inner Planes. He sighs as if this reminded him of his bone-deep weariness. Think of the Inner Planes as a globe. On the top pole, you have the positive material plane. On the bottom, you have the negative material. He pauses. Remind me to tell you of the negative. His eyes turn inward to some private horror. The interaction between the two springs, all of the urge of it for existence and non-existence, death and life, actuality and nothing. From them spring the basic elemental planes, like fire, water, air, and earth. The para-elemental planes lie between the four basic elements, the quasi-elemental planes that come from the interaction of the four elements with the positive and negative. This guy is a walking travel guide, real. Tell me of the negative material plane. His eyes cloud over. I went to the Inner Planes to discover my true essence. I made the mistake of visiting the negative material plane in order to understand my body's urge to decay and the cycle of death in life. I thought myself protected against the ill effects of the plane with my magic, but I was wrong. Blackness of infinite nothing pressed on my soul. I was beset by shadows that sought to snuff out my very soul. I lost my way for a time, for an eternity, and nearly lost my existence. I could feel my essence falling away from me. Even now, half gone, never will I return. How did you survive?
Updated my journal.
How did I survive? He smiles tightly. Piece of nothing that held back the nothing. Nothing can stop nothing, you know. So I carried nothing in my hand to protect me. You planned a journey to that ultimate negation yourself. You have the smell of desperation about you, so I make you this gift. Hold it in your hand when the shadows press in, and it should protect you and your friends somewhat. Or should they remain close to you? He passes you a small black token that looks as if it has no dimensionality to it at all. Tell me more of the planes. There are more about the Inner Planes. There was not. Tell me the rest of the planes. What did you mean? That's the same. I had other questions. No. Tell me of the Prime Material Plane. Want to know of the Prime? Visit it. Boundless worlds of that plane have an infinite variety, as do the planes. but I cannot encapsulate them as I have here. Suffice it to say that they are the birth of the outer planes, the children of the inner, and they hold limitless potential within their boundaries. I had some other questions. Oh, what are you doing? I'm fresh back from negation and trying to restore my essence before it slips from me altogether. You mean that's the same? What is this place? Unless the cosmos has shifted or we've been spun into the mazes, I would say that we're in the Smoldering Corpse Tavern. What can you tell me of the patrons here? I mind my own business here, Seeker, for I spend too much time away not minding it. Speak to the bartender if you would learn more about the customers. What do you mean, mazes? Aye, the mazes, where the lady dumps those who have displeased her. He makes a small semicircle over his heart as he speaks the lady's name. If you know more of the lady in the city, find a tout or some such guide. What is a tout? And some other questions. Looking for this journal I lost. I've seen no journals lately, but for my own. That has crumpled away into nothingness. My apologies. I have a collector named Farad. Farad grew up to be a collector. How long ago was this? When I set out last, he was but an officious stripling in one of the upper wards. Time does change some people. No, Seeker. I don't know Farad anymore, I'm willing to bet. Very well. Get it, farewell. We're done with that conversation. Have good eep, Ender. This crackling, billowing creature twists slowly above an iron grill above the floor of the bar. It may have once been human, but now its skin is charred beyond recognition. Streams of fire form a wreath around the creature's body. The flames lick at the few remaining pockets of flesh, causing them to bubble and run like wax down the creature's skeletal frame. Greetings? Thing makes no response. It writhes slowly within the flames. It lives, but it does not seem aware of anything other than the fire that surrounds it. Its skin is flame, its heart is flame, and you know within some shadowed corner of your memory that this thing is dangerous. Examine the creature. Heat surrounding this creature is incredible. You're surprised the iron grill at the creature floats above has sagged and bent from the heat. At first you thought the heat came from the grill, but now you realize it emanates from the creature. As you watch, flecks of ash drift from the withering corpse and float slowly to the ceiling. Greetings? Okay. Hello, Drusilla. To answer some questions. Nothing.
I'm gone.
Negative token. Oh, neat. I can put this is a ring. You're hearing ingress every time I said it.
You see that?
The gank squad.
Done.
Welcome to the party. Actually, wait, you can probably...
The unbroken circle of Zerthamon. Small round stone is the unbreakable circle of Zerthamon. The unbroken circle is a Zerth, a religious text containing the teachings of Zerthamon, founder of the Githzerai people. Huh. Oh, this is his spellcasting focus.
I cannot part with that.
He's a spellcaster. Is there a... Skith turns to face you as you approach. Like Takani, he has a yellow cast to his skin and a gaunt frame. His clothing is a curious blend of sharp colors, dull mud-stained browns. The gift's dead black eyes flicker over to Dakan, then you. Greetings. Man ignores you and turns to Dakan instead. He speaks several clipped words in a low tongue, which you can't understand. His expression doesn't change as he speaks, nor does he make any hand motions, so you can't even hazard a guess at what he's saying. Dakan replies with an arrow flight of words in the same tongue. The Githzerai falls silent. This is gonna be a Gith Yankee instead of a Githzerai, isn't it? What's he saying, Dakan? The Githzerai turns to you as you speak, then turns back to Dakan and speaks again, this time at great length. Dakan replies, it sounds like the same arrow flight of words as before. The Githzerai falls silent again. Dakan says something else, and the Githzerai responds with another lengthy scream of words. Dakan, can you ask some questions for me? Dakan turns to the Githzerai and speaks, this time at a slower, more measured pace than before. The Githzerai's reply is a short one. What did he say? Your words are known to me. The Githzerai interrupts. Face me and speak your mind. I'll hear you. Very well, I had some questions. Akali drowning. Sorry? Question is a stab in the dark. Your question is a stab in the dark. An arrow without direction. His forehead wrinkles. The answer to this question would fill the mind of an anarch. There's no time for such an answer. Tell me plainly what you wish known. Tell me where I might find work. There's a little work here. You can hunt rats for bounties. Gather the dead. Okay.
All right.
Dude, if you're gonna run, fucking run. Don't just like hang out off screen. Oh, there's a... Much as this creature is a body of a combination... much as this creature is a creature's body is a combination of man and ram. His head is a mix of sorts, with a broad, flat nose, goat ears, and a pair of curling horns. Intricate designs are shaved into his dirty pelt, and a massive four-flanged polearm hangs from his belt harness. He doesn't seem to notice you. Greetings. Turns to face you with startling speed. His eyes dark and suspicious of you. His voice deep and rumbling, not quite human, heavily accented. What do you want, Two Legs? His hand is close to his polearm. Only to speak with you. I had some questions. Seems to calm down. His hand drops away from his weapon. He still keeps a certain distance from you, however. What do you wish to ask me? Why were you so wary of me? He seems sad for a moment. This place, a wretched, unclean place. It's full of unfriendly, sometimes desperate people. Not the best place for visiting Borar, Two Legs. He shrugs. I have business here, though, and so here I am. Business? What are you here for? Now's your time, Two Legs. If we ever meet again in a happier place, I shall tell you about it.
You said you were visiting? You don't live here? Barrier shakes his head, laughing.
No, no, Two Legs. No barrier could live like this.
Where are you from?
From the plains of Ysgard, Two Legs. They are my home.
Smiles and fond recollection as if warmed by the memory. That's all I needed to know. Farewell.
I'm gone.
Really? Go in the door, please.
All right.
Moving from box to box, this man seems to be totally immersed in counting boxes and scribbling results down on a piece of parchment. He looks annoyed as you interrupt him.
What is it now? Can't you see I'm busy taking inventory? Go bother someone else.
I didn't mean to interrupt. Farewell.
All right.
This is gonna be like the outport of a dungeon. I promise you that. Or there's gonna be a portal in here. One of the two. Where is the door? God, I love boxes, man. Why are you still here?
All right.
I don't get paid enough to deal with you lot, even though I totally could.
All right.
I like how it's been 3 hours and we haven't advanced the main story at all. Okay, you want to join the fight? Gank squad. Kill this man.
I'm hurt.
Damn it.
You know, part of me is morbidly curious if, like, because seemingly I can just attack people. Part of me is morbidly curious to see if the Lady of Pain would actually fucking maze me if I tried to attack a Dabu.
I'm gone.
Well, you gonna try? I don't know. Maybe.
All right.
Where is person? She was over here previously, but I don't see her. Why is that portal sound effect so loud?
I don't trust the Gith. I say we leave him behind.
Wow, we have a lot of let's see. Find a way to help Ingress.
I'm gone.
Really?
Die.
Why was there like a shaking effect happening? Oh, Ingress. You see Ingress. She's huddled inside of her cloak of dirty rags, her teeth chattering. She's glancing furtively around her, as if expecting to be attacked at any moment. Greetings, Ingress.
You?
She squints at you.
What is it you wanted me now? You wanted me to leave? Not leaving the city, so I'm not. I can't. Tried. It's not a city. It's a prison to everywhere.
Ingress, I found someone who can take you back to your home plane. Ingress falls silent.
I want to go. I want to leave this place.
Name is Kandrian. He should be along shortly to help you. Trust him, alright? Ingress says nothing, merely nods quietly, her teeth chattering inside her mouth. I'll go back and meet Kandrian at the Smoldering Corpse bar and make sure everything turned out alright. Be strong, Ingress.
Updated my journal.
Maybe I've just been playing too many Souls-likes, but like I feel like something horrible is gonna happen. Really? Fuck off.
All right.
Kandrian stands as you approach him. Tooth Woman wanted you to have these, he says, holding out his hand. She wanted to express her thanks, even out of the balance book, as it were. Or even out the balance book, as it were. And be done with the damned things. In the palm of his hand are Ingress's dancing teeth, and he smoothly deposits them into your hand. Enjoy them, Seeker.
Updated my journal.
Wait, these are a weapon for Morte?
Hey, come on.
Done. I'm gone.
Here, actually have some magic, Magic Man. Now, continue carrying my random pieces of jewelry that I've been looting off of these guys.
Done. Damn.
Rock sings true.
Come on in, buy a drink, see the burning man.
See a young woman dressed in tight leather bodice and leggings. Smells faintly of cheap perfume, and her face, though pretty, is painted with garish makeup. She smiles coyly as she sees you.
Seeking some company, love.
Hell, but I had some questions.
Sorry, love. I don't stand here to answer the questions of a passerby. Sure you wouldn't like a little company, hmm?
No.
Done.
Updated my journal. I found out after being hit on that I actually am gay. I give Morte a gun. Updated my journal. I've learned what sex is. Do you think we can actually get Morte a body? Strange man. Used to be a soldier from some religious order, but his vows won't let him raise a hand. Said he last seen thugs by a bar that burns inside. They're dressed in red and black.
I'm gone.
Guy dressed in red and black. Keep finding all of these sellables, but like we haven't found anywhere we can sell them yet.
Done.
Oh, these guys. The small, wiry thug is swathed in rags, dyed red and black. He glances at you as you approach. Greetings. And does not speak, only glares at you. Okay. This heavy-set thug is swathed in rags. Yep. And how can I help you there, Governor? The man's face breaks into a sneer. Looks to me needs a healer. You one of the ones who robbed a monk in the Hive? Took his prayer bead necklace? Some sod with a line scroll over his face. Then you can put us all in the dead book. Yet less is bobbing blind. And gives a slow, toothless smile. Never even heard of such a sod, I haven't.
That is interesting. The rest of his order is looking for you. Brothers of Eret Egg seem to know you quite well. Man sneers, fades. What are you on about? What brothers? Sud said he was alone, he was. It's a member of a religious order, you fool. That necklace you stole is their most holy relic. If it isn't returned, the rest of his order will come looking for you, and they don't have any reservations about killing thieves. Man! I feel like this is Maddie's Kronk voice. I can't... I wish I could do a good Kronk impression. But, like, it's such a, like, awkward voice to try to mimic. Man's eyes widen. No, we was just keeping the relic for him. He reaches into the fold of his robe and pulls forth the necklace, which he hands carefully to you. There it is, no harm done, eh? Your wisdom could move mountains. Farewell.
Done.
I do think I have another quest over here. I've just been doing side quests all stream. This game is fucking dense. Like... Oh, we actually need to return to Narachij. Why are all of these white now? Okay, so
Done.
it looks like we actually have to pick a fight for this one.
What?
This wild-eyed man is hunched over, barking and howling at the top of his lungs. Beneath his thick, matted hair, you can make out a series of strange tattoos. They run the range from screaming faces to bizarre geometric shapes and what appear to be lines of verse. He's almost naked, but the dirt and filth covering him gives him the semblance of modesty. Greetings. Man whirls on you and gives a low growl. He draws out the growl for a few seconds, then starts barking violently at you. In the distance, you can hear answering barks. I'll snarl back at him. Man's barking ends with a snarl, and he leaps at you. That's how you want to die, Wolfman. Squad, jump this man.
I'm hurt.
Oh my god, he just hit me for 14 damage.
Seems true.
What's up, Chief?
I'm gone.
Any more of the dogs over here? Oh. The little rumbling that it makes at the end of, like, combat is kind of scaring me. It makes me wonder if maybe I'm making the lady upset. Barking wilder. This wild-eyed man is hunched over, snarling and giving low growls. Looks like he hasn't trimmed his hair in years. It's so long it forms a veil over his eyes. He has a long, stringy mustache caked with grease and sweat. The tips of the mustache droop so much they've become tangled in his ragged beard. Greetings. Man stops mid-snarl and he reaches up to part of the curtain of hair that covers his eyes. A withered hand pulls away his dirty locks. Several strange... colored bugs fall from his hair and scatter across the cobbles. Behind the cloak of his hair, the man's flesh is moon pale and creased with wrinkles. His thick, bushy eyebrows form a V as he stares at you. Am I take to the moonfly too? Moons, snoom, noom. Tilt your head to one side. Man frowns, but his eyebrows tilt upward in a reverse V, creating a bizarre expression. We have no idea how he accomplished the facial expression, but it makes you uncomfortable watching the muscles beneath his face shift into a new pattern. Can't tell whether he's angry, curious, both, or neither. Singed kiss speak a man. Answers prefer a woodwoman's heart. Single kiss speaks a woman's heart, but a man's answer is what you would prefer. Very well then. But know this, my answer is a question, and an answer from you is what I would prefer. Man seems mesmerized by your voice. With every word you speak, a light flickers in his eyes. Barking wilder, I am. Or am I am? A wanting asking a, may you may. You may and I will. Who or what are you? Chaos. He stutters out the word as if saying, or as if having difficulty getting his tongue around it. Some say, Joutesex? I say, Estect Isox. Chaos men. Men no, nem no. And yes. 3 no's make a yes. Benches down on his knees and begins to rock back and forth, singing a childlike soprano. Chaos man, up along home. Action it is, yet we're alone. Farewell then. Well, that's true. One snap branch too many. Morte rolls his eyes. No sense in chatting with the Zhao sects, Chief. They're a barmy bunch. I thought we might learn something.
All right. I'm gone.
See Narochij. He's pulling at one of his spikes of hair and using it to scratch a spot on his face. Can't help but think he'd look a lot better with dreadlocks. I found out what was going on in the mausoleum. The dead sleep again.
Updated my journal.
Naroch's lines of worry smooth out as you speak. Oh, thanks. Give I.
Reaches into his robes and draws forth a small bag, which he hands to you. A copper coin, twice 100. Thanks. Glad I could help. Farewell.
I'm gone.
Slow Sigil day it is.
Okay, we got that. Oh, shit.
All right. I'm gone.
I guess we'll see if we can get another dog man.
Have you got the kid?
Give a long forlorn howl. Man whirls on you as he hears your howl, then gives a lopsided grin and throws his head back, howling at you. He stops a few moments later, then resumes his loping about, snarling and barking like some feral dog. I'll snarl at him. Man, they actually hit pretty damn hard. I'm out of healing items, actually. Except this one.
What's the word, Chief?
All right.
Is this the wolf corner of the hive? Yeah, I think. Maybe.
Step right up, come see the burning man. Try to put him out, buy him a drink. He's thirsty. He's on fire.
Thing on the ground here?
He's a red hot. Come on in. Come on in. See what I mean?
I'm gone. I'm gone.
There another dog man up here for us to kill. Finish that side quest. You're still up here?
Not a grudge me telling his copper about that.
I'm gone.
See Porphyrin. He's still standing grimly on the street, paying no heed to the passerby. The web of lines on his face are staggered into a series of right angles. This one addresses you, Porphyrion. As you speak, the angles on Porphyrion's face relax into a series of strange curves. This one would ask, you have the neck rope and beads that was stolen. I think so.
Updated
Is
my
that it?
journal.
This one sees what you hold. Those are the beads once missing. He takes them from you. You notice his hands have the same tracery of lines upon them as his face. This one has a question. How did you get the beads back from the three? Told them a few harmless lies and they were happy to give me the beads.
This one would know. One who fights with words carries a name in the order of Erd Ag. Firen's face breaks out into angles. Those ones are called diplomats. It is a path without discipline and without honor. If you were a true warrior, you'd use to learn you'd learn to use every weapon at your disposal. This one bestows apologies. This one meant no offense. The angles on Porphyrin's face sharpen acutely, then slowly curve into ripples. And this one bestows several welcome thanks for your service, yes? You're welcome, I think. I have a question for you, though. If you cannot enter combat, how did you get your warrior training? And this one clarifies. Erd Ag may train with one when there is no anger between them. I see. Could you teach me how to use those weapons? And this one could instruct you, yes. But this one warns you. Knowledge of violence comes temptation to use it. I sure hope so. And this one speaks. Is it your will to leave behind your previous profession? The path of the warrior cannot be walked with an unfocused mind. Oh, is this class changing? Not at this time.
I'm gone.
Can I rest here? It'll cost you 5 coppers. 5 coppers and rest. I'm going to make a manual save real quick. Just gonna do like okay. Well, that is going to be where I end off for tonight. Thank you all so much for watching. I hope that you enjoyed. We'll see how I'm doing tomorrow with regards to this. I'm enjoying it a lot, but it is very dialogue heavy. Like I went in expecting all of the dialogue, but like still I'm probably gonna need to take a break. Not necessarily like tomorrow. I might still do this tomorrow, but I don't want to burn myself out on it is the big thing. You know what? Let's go raid the Zoe. I don't want to burn out your voice after how long you had that cough. Yeah. But yeah, I hope to see you here tomorrow for whatever I end up doing. It's Planescape on the schedule. We'll see if it actually ends up being Planescape. But yeah, other than that, have a good one and take care, everyone. Oh, I forgot to do the thing. Oops. Okay, go, my scarab.